The female reproductive system, anatomy and function. So how many parts can you identify? So this is a picture of the female anatomy of the reproductive system. Take a few minutes here and see what you already know. So how many parts can you identify? Let's go through this and see if you got any of the same answers. So number 1 is the cervix. So right down here is the cervix. Number 2 is the ovaries right here. Number 3 is the fallopian tubes. This is the fallopian tubes right here. Number 4 is the uterus. Number 5 is the bladder right here. And 6 is the urethra. So both the bladder and the urethra, they have little stars here, as you may have noticed, is because both males and females have this part. So it's not actually part of the reproductive system, but it's nearby, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it so you know what that is. But do note that this is not a part of the reproductive system, and both males and females have this. Number 7 is the clitoris. Number 8 is the labia, minor and major. Number 9 is the vagina. It's right here. So what are the functions of these parts? I'm going to go ahead and tell you the functions, and you try to figure out which part of the reproductive system has this function. So, facilitates the passage of sperms into the uterus, it facilitates the passage of blood from menstruation, and it facilitates the passage of a baby out of the uterus. Produces the ovum, egg, and the female hormone, estrogen and progesterone, allows the passage of the ovum from the ovary to the uterus and is the site of fertilization, supports the growing fetus and contracts during labor, causes sexual excitement, surrounding and protecting the clitoris and the vaginal opening, receives the penis and sperm during intercourse. So take a few minutes here, look at all the functions, and try to decide which part of the reproductive system has this function. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through, and I'm going to tell you which part has what function. So number 1, right here, facilitates the passage of sperm into the uterus and blood from menstruation and the baby out of the uterus. Number 2 produces the ovum and egg and female hormone estrogen and progesterone. So it's right here, it's the ovaries. Number 3 allows the passage of ovum from the ovary to the uterus and is the site of fertilization. So it's right here, it's the fallopian tubes. Supports the growing fetus and contracts during labor, which is right here. Number 5 is the bladder and urethra. As I said, both males and females have this. And 7 causes sexual excitement, which is right here, which is the clitoris. Number 8, surrounding and protecting the clitoris and the vaginal opening, right here, number 8. And number 9, receives the penis and sperm during intercourse. And number 9 is right here. So how many parts can you identify? So take a moment here. This is the same view of what we had just been looking at, but this is from the frontal view. So it has the same parts that we were just talking about. See if you can tell which parts these are from what you already learned. Okay, let's go ahead and go through this. So number 1 is the cervix. This is right here. Number 2 is the ovary. This is right here. Number 3 is the fallopian tube. So it carries the egg. Uterus is right here. 9 is the vagina, right here. Number 10 is the endometrium. So this is the lining of the uterus. And so if you're not pregnant and you have your menstruation, your period, this is the lining that sheds. So this is where the blood comes from. It's this lining. It just sheds this lining, and every month you get a new lining in your uterus. So what are the functions of these parts? So yes, take a few moments right here and think about what the function of these parts is for. Okay, so the function of this is to support implantation of a zygote. A zygote is an egg and a sperm in the instance of pregnancy. Or, if you're not pregnant, it's the shedding of the lining of the uterus monthly during menstruation. So that's the function of these parts in the female reproductive anatomy.